What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. I've got another one from Lifetime Movies, and it is Ex-Wife Killer. So that's got a pretty cool title. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it's not as salacious as the title might sound. So the story here is that there's a divorced woman, played by Marguerite Moreau, who turns in a really good performance here, but I'll talk about that later. She plays a divorced woman who runs a flower shop. It's really, really successful, like to the point that she would love to expand it. She has some really big ideas for how they could have an online presence. Basically, she's got everything on lockdown, except for the fact that she can't really afford to expand. She's kind of stretched thin, even though the shop is doing really well. So in order to, expand, she needs money, and unfortunately she can't get that money till she expands, so it's kind of a catch-22. Then kind of out of nowhere, her ex-husband shows up and is, super nice, and he's all business. He's like, hey, I want to be an investor, but I want to be a silent partner. You've got all these great ideas. She's really suspicious of it at first, but he's like, hey, this is just business. And also, he's going through a divorce, and, that's not going very smoothly for him. So the two kind of forge a little bit of a connection over it, and eventually it becomes clear that something is going on because he ends up poisoned. There's, just drama is arising, as you could expect in a movie like this, and it becomes clear that, like, maybe there's more going on with his divorce than he, led her on with. I think this is probably like one of the classier Lifetime thrillers that's out there. It's very restrained. It has hardly any violence. It has hardly any, like, even vague sleaziness to it. Not very much melodrama. Honestly, not even much drama. Marguerite Moreau is great in this. She's a really strong anchor for the movie. She puts on a really good performance, much better in the traditional sense than most movies like this. But she doesn't have that, like, melodramatic flair, so it's a good performance, but it's very, like, workmanlike. I mean, it doesn't really shine or stand out. It's just good, whereas some of the other performances maybe aren't as traditionally good, but are memorable and interesting because they're so melodramatic and so just radiate drama. But anyway, I'm sure there are people out there who prefer, like, a classier, more restrained approach. This is like one you could definitely. I picture people drinking a glass of wine when they watch this movie, and I think that people who made it feel that way as well, because a big part of it involves her fantasy of living at and running a vineyard. It's just kind of a pretty straight ahead mystery. It's got some decent twists in it, but it is what it is. Not a lot of drama, not a lot of melodrama, not a lot of craziness. So if you like a more restrained, grounded Lifetime thriller, this is it. This is probably the most, like, classy and restrained movie I've ever seen on Lifetime. But for me, I wanted more, like, melodrama out of it. But it's a decent watch if you like Lifetime movies. I would definitely maybe put it toward the bottom of my list. But like I said, if you like this kind and you don't like all the melodrama and craziness as well, then this Ex-Wife Killer might be one that you would prefer, so be higher on your list. Anyway, it's solid if you like these kind of movies. I prefer the melodrama and craziness, so I didn't have a great time with it, but it was certainly watchable and certainly competently made and really well performed. Marguerite Moreau, like I said, is really, really good in this, especially by Lifetime movie standards. So that's my review of Ex-Wife Killer. I know it's simple and to the point, but it's a pretty simple, straight to the point movie. If you want to read my full write-up of Ex-Wife Killer review, you can go to my website, markfusions.com. There's also tons and tons of other Lifetime movies reviewed there, as well as all kinds of other melodramas, classic films, horror movies, cult films, TV shows, British and Australian crime dramas, all kinds of stuff. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon if you want to get exclusive content. I'm also on Letterboxd if you want to see what I've been watching and what might be coming up on the channel. But the best way you can help me out, like I always say, is just to hit that sub button. It's free, easy, direct way to support me. Help me to continue to make content and devote all my time to watching Lifetime movies, which is my dream. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this. And also, if you are a big Lifetime fan, you can find a ton of Lifetime movie reviews right in this playlist on this channel, and check some of those out. Watching the old videos is a massive help to me as well. So there's a ton of Lifetime ones in there. So thank you very much for watching this video. I do sincerely appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.